My name is Greg Lake, co-founder, CEO of EntheoConnect.com, and I just wanted to take a minute to speak briefly about the making of EntheoConnect. For me, EntheoConnect has been something long time in the making, but didn't come to full realization till 2020. I grew up in Northeast Texas, had a pretty idyllic childhood. Unfortunately, I started using drugs and alcohol at 12 years old. Through my addiction, I became a highly functional addict and was able to make it through college and all the way into law school. My second year of law school, my mother passed away from a sudden heart attack, which was very devastating and traumatic in my life. Despite those circumstances, I was able to graduate law school and got licensed to practice law 2012. Unfortunately, at that time, not dealing with the underlying trauma and grief I was facing at that time, my addiction grew worse than it ever was. In 2014, I was kidnapped at gunpoint and had my skull crushed in, and pretty much hit the lowest point in my life. Fortunately for me, in 2015, I was arrested on a misdemeanor charge and placed in jail. At that time, I was given the ultimatum to either lose my law license or seek long-term treatment. Fortunately, I chose the latter, and I ended up in a Synacor in Houston, Texas, which is a long-term inpatient therapeutic community. And that's really where my spiritual development, which eventually led to EntheoConnect, began. Through that program, I learned the power of emotional control. I learned the power of remaining positive at all times and positive vibration. After 32 months in Synacor, I eventually graduated and went back to the practice of law. Shortly after being released from the facility, I started to work with entheogenic medicines as a way to further develop my spirituality and really as measures to help prevent relapse back into drugs and alcohol. Through this journey, I was advised spiritually to publish my first book, Psychedelics and Mental Health Series, Psilocybin, in honor of the medicine, one that I hold very dear and sacred to my heart. And through publishing that book, I immediately got into this entheogenic ceremony retreat church space, acting as a legal consultant for many tribes across the United States. Through these endeavors, I eventually met my business partner, co-founder Hector Gonzales. We participated in my first sacred ceremony together in South Texas in July 2020. Immediately after coming off the mat from the ceremony and heading to my car, Hector and I hatched the plan for EntheoConnect as a means to connect people in the United States and abroad to quality entheogenic church retreats and ceremonies that hold standards of safety and sacredness. We felt the need for people to be aware that there were these organizations operating within fairly close proximity to their location. And moreover, to create a forum where people in this space can come and communicate with each other on a very real, productive, positive level. And so that's what we've done here with EntheoConnect. Very happy with the way that the site is coming along. We'll be launching on March 4th. I encourage everybody to come check us out. Some of our main goals are obviously to connect people to each other and connect people to the medicine. But we want to kind of help also with what we perceive to be a collective shift in consciousness through humanity that is slowly but surely occurring at this time. While we don't believe that the plant medicine is the only catalyst for this shift, we do believe that the plant medicine is going to play a big role in helping this massive shift in consciousness and human evolution throughout the world. So that's one of our main and overarching goals with EntheoConnect. I just want to say how blessed and how humble I am, through this project. It's coming along, as I said, very great, and I have very big hopes for the website. We're currently shooting a documentary series about one man, Patrick Bates' journey through the plant medicine to his spiritual awakening, which we hope to be the catalyst for other people who feel internally called to the medicine to make that leap of faith and go. I will say that our plans at this point are to continue these media projects as we support the overall push towards normalization and legalization of these entheogenic substances. We support the decriminalization measures, and we also support the research and all the brave researchers who are out there constantly publishing studies proving the safety and efficacy of these substances. And so that's where we stand on that. I want to thank everybody who takes the time to come check us out. And, again, we will have more media projects coming in the future. And if you sign up for the site, you'll be the first ones to know. Thank y'all very much. Much love.